Hi everyone, it's me, Kae Pea. I'm here in my studio, The Moon and the Maker, home of RubberMoon art stamps, and I'm here for our stamp down to Christmas. We're doing a stamp a day and just coloring it in a different way, and talking about what we might be able to use it for and what kind of project. I'm actually doing a little project today, and it's sort of based on something I did a long time ago, and I'll show you a picture once we get started. I'm going to just give it a couple minutes, see if anybody's joining me here today for our stamp down. Cheryl, good morning. Nice to see you. So many years ago, I did a series of little trailer camper paintings. I did a few different sizes, and they were pretty well received. I always thought they were super cute. And recently, I got a commission. This is funny because it goes way back. Oh, probably at least 8 or 9 years ago, I was doing these little trailers. And when I started, then it was actually even before I took over RubberMoon. So when I bought RubberMoon, one of the first things I did was design a few little trailer stamps. Now, they're pretty tiny. They're only about, an inch and a half wide. And, so a couple inches. They're pretty small. But so I'm going to pull out this. Now, this was just a piece of original art that I did quite a long time ago. Like I said, about 8 or 9 years ago. And this was on I think a 3x3. So not much bigger, really. And anyway, like I said, I designed these little trailer stamps as soon as I took over RubberMoon, because they had been pretty popular and I thought they were really cute, and trailers were a little bit trendy at the time. I think they're still kind of popular. And yes, sometimes I do base my illustrations or drawing on what is popular in the moment, or kind of just what I'm doing. So I did 3 of them, 3 different ones. This is a little Shasta. And like I said, I based it sort of on this little miniature painting that I did years ago. And then recently, again, repeating myself, I just got a commission, and I'm going to just show it really, really quickly. I don't even know if it's going to fit in this whole frame, just because I lowered this down to be up super close. This is a tiny, just a little 2x3 inch. I think that's the size it is, 2x3 inch canvas. Yeah, or maybe it's even 2 by 2 3/4 actually. So, and this is the commission that I'm working on right now. And so I thought, oh my gosh, this would be really fun to do as a little project. So, and for our stamp down. So what I've done is I've taken a little book page, okay, like so, just something out of an old book that has already been sort of decimated. And I'm going to just gesso a little bit on here, just to sort of take away some of the, the actual focus on the words. I just want some of that in the background as a little bit of texture. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to go over here to my little canvas. And again, this would make a really cute little ornament if you wanted to turn it into an ornament. And here I also just have a little piece of map. Actually, this was going in the trash. I had a little piece of map from our little stamp down the other day. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna paint this little canvas using my light phthalo blue acrylic paint, and of course whatever color you want. I'm just gonna really quickly put down a little coating of paint. And while that's drying, I'm going to go back over here to my book page. I'm going to go ahead and heat set that just for a quick second. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp my stamp on here. I'm using my black Moonlight Duo. And of course, if you didn't want it to be super dark black outline, you could go into that gray. All right, and then I went ahead and fussy cut this out. You could go ahead and color it or paint it if you wanted to while it's right on your book page before you cut it out. But I'm going to go ahead and mount everything onto my little canvas before I paint or color. So I wanted to say good morning to Debbie and Jan. How are you this morning? Hope you had a nice weekend. I'm super excited. My studio is almost all the way, I can actually say this, really complete. I mean, it's the most efficient that I have had it really ever since I moved in. I'm really excited about how everything sort of fits together so nicely, and I can't wait to take pictures and share it with you. And soon, I don't know what day yet, we are going to have a little studio tour, and we're going to show you how we make stamps again. A couple people have asked us to share the process again, and we're going to do that. And I'm going to show off my new improved space. All right, so that's all done. This should be dry enough now. Well, let me heat set it again for a quick second. Yeah, it was. I'm looking at the comments. It was good. My friend, as many of you know, my friend Barb was here visiting, and she ended up going home early because of the impending weather. So we were a little bit bummed about that, but better safe than sorry. And yeah, she made it home before all the weather hit. And now we have, I don't even know how many inches of snow we have right now, but it's more is supposed to be coming. So tell Angel and Oak, is it Oakley or Oakley? I can't remember, Jan. I always see it one way and then think, oh, it's not Oakley, it's Oaky, or vice versa. OT? You're confusing me. All right. Anyway, I just ran a little bit of glue down on that bottom, on the bottom third, I guess, or bottom quarter, really, of that little tiny canvas that I have here. And now I'm going to go ahead and use my file to just file that right off. All right, so you have your little foreground there for your little trailer to set right on there. I'm going to go ahead and glue that baby on there as well. And of course, if you have like a little tiny Xyron or somewhere you can run this through your sticker maker, that's great too. I don't have, well, I do have one, but I'm out of sticker stuff. And I have been for a while, so I'm just gonna, it's such a small little piece to collage. It doesn't take much. All right, so your little camper's glued on, and now you can do a couple things to just sort of finish this little guy off. And of course, if you wanted to make it more like wintry or Christmassy, of course, you could stamp some little trees in the background or some kind of winter sentiment. Here I found a little words out of one of the books that just said wherever you want to go, and I popped it right on there. Of course, you can search through your book pages and see if there's any words that resonate with you or that fit the little scene. And that's usually what I do last. So for this, I'm just going to take my white gesso. A couple of different ways you could have a little fun with this. And then I'm going to take, again, like I said, my white gesso and just a small little brush and sort of, again, paint over some of those words just so they're not quite so visible. All right, and then I'm going to take my black Moonlight Duo, just a little ink pick, and I'm going to go onto this gray side that I've created. And remember, for those of you who have not used Moonlight Duos or don't have them, how you want to treat your tinting pad. You can see mine is pretty much all gray now. You can easily just wipe it clean and get most of the grunge out of there. Okay, and I'm going side to side, or if I do go across the pad, I'm going to wipe into my black and not the opposite way. And now I can just re-ink this with some white re-inker, and that will bring it back up to a lighter, you know, a lighter shade. You'll never get perfectly back to white, but you can make your lighter tints of gray. Anyway, I'm going to dip my little moonlight or my little ink pick into my gray side, and I'm going to go ahead and do some of the coloring, I guess, coloring in, just because it is such a small little area and I don't need much. I'm going to paint in my gray. I'm going to paint in my window a little bit. Paint in that little, the little fin or the little wing. And finally, I'm going to dip into my black also, pure black, and do my little tire. And actually, my ink pick is starting to fail me, so I'm going to get a fresh one. They're a little bit firmer when they're new. And you can do the same thing with the red if you want to. I did paint in a little bit of my little camper using a little bit of acrylic paint, but I'm going to try out a Moonlight Duos on here. Again, just because it is such a nice little small area, and I feel like it wouldn't take much to just remember, the Moonlight Duos are really great with mixed media. So even if I wanted to go in and put a little paint right over the top, I definitely could do that. All right, and finally, I'm also going to put a little bit of white gesso right over the top of my little map page here. Just, again, I want to sort of mute it just a little bit. And plus, of course, if I wanted to make it more like a winter scene, then I would want that to be a little snowy anyway. The nice thing is I feel like the book or the map page still shows through enough so that you see what it is, but it's not sort of in your face. And also, if the colors of that map didn't sort of coordinate with what I was doing, that sort of, again, knocks it back just a bit. The other thing I like to do is to take a little bit deeper of a color. So whatever color that you're doing, you can use a little bit of your Moonlight Duo just sort of around the edge. You can make it a little bit darker if you want to run a little bit of ink right sort of around the edge. It just, maybe with a little baby wipe. To sort of smush it out just a little bit, just give it a little more value and make it not look quite so flat. And of course you can do that with other layers of paint if you want to, but when I'm working with something so small, it's sort of nice to just have this at my fingertips. I'm going to use my ink pick and smush a little bit of the color that I have there on this Aurora Teal pad. The same, I'm going to go back into my gray up here and just maybe put in some little lines going across. If it gets a little heavy-handed, you can pull it back. I think this one would be really cute to, you know, maybe put some kind of little holiday lights or something at the top, or maybe a banner, and you could do a Christmas saying or something that says like, I'll be home for Christmas or something like that. So I'll be looking for some extra words out of my book to add on to here. And of course, don't forget, you could always put a little, well, I would finish off my sides, of course. Let me just go ahead and do that while I'm thinking about it. And you can make quick work of it if you want to go ahead and use your ink pad to do that. Of course, you'd want to let this dry. It's a hybrid ink, so it's not quite as thick as pigment ink, but not as thin or fast drying as like dye ink. So, but anyway, of course, you could put a little eye hook right in the top of that and string a little piece of string and make it into an ornament. You could pop a magnet right on the back of it and turn it into a magnet. Or of course you could also actually put this on the front of a card if you wanted it to be a little more dimensional. All right, so now I'm just going to look for, here's my finished one. You can see I did a little bit brighter of a blue. So whatever, you can play around with that. Maybe if you to make my bottom, my red part just a little bit brighter, I could easily go over that with a little bit of this nice red paint, and that will sort of pump it up. But I like adding in that color really quickly with my ink picks. Like I said, it makes sort of short work of it when you're working on something so tiny. So, all right, let me see. Let me say good morning and see if anyone has any questions or thoughts. So yeah, they're having a conversation right now on this thread about the Moonlight Duo inks, and yes, they are permanent once they are completely dry or heat set. Okay. And let's see. I'm just trying to see if I can find any cute words, or not cute words, but words on these pages that I don't know if this goes, but this just says on a winter night. And I'll maybe make it a little more of a winter scene. Maybe a few of my little scratch trees in the background, darken it up and make it a night sky. And then that will be a cute little saying to go with it. And usually you can, even just on your little cutouts that you're about to throw away, you can find a lot of words that will work. At 99% of the time, I'm able to come up with something just on any random book page. So yeah, so I would, if I, especially, you know, if I were going to make a magnet or anything that was going to, or a ornament, anything that was going to be handled, I definitely would seal it. And you could spray it, or you could use a Mod Podge or any, you know, any of your favorite varnish. All right, so I guess that concludes our stamp down for today. I gave up on trying to name or number them. And I hope I hope you liked it. I made sure that it was really, really close this time. I hope that that you like it better like that. And you know what? I'm just going to work on this a little bit more. You're welcome to hang around, or if you have to go, if you need to leave, I understand. I'm not going to hold you hostage. Yes, Robin, these are daily at 11 on weekdays, though. I'm not, if I do a weekend one, it's just going to be spontaneous. Okay. Mostly, well, not mostly, they're scheduled for every weekday at 11 Central Time through Christmas, but I think we're going to go to New Year's. I think we're not going to do Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, and then we're going to stamp down to the new year. Anyway, I want to finish this one up and see it to fruition. So please feel free to hang out with me while I finish it up, or if you have to go, I want to say thank you for being here, and I hopefully will see you tomorrow morning. Like I said, I want to finish this, just be a little bit different than this one. And I'm going to do a little more Christmassy, okay? So since I decided on a night sky, I'm just going to pull in some darker phthalo blue and go ahead and just paint around this. It'll be fine. Obviously, this wouldn't be my first choice. If I would have thought that I was going to do a night sky, then I probably would have painted my background a darker blue to start with, but it's okay. And I'm using a fluid acrylic, so that's why it's a little thinner and a little bit transparent, but it's okay because I'm just going to build up my layers a little bit. All right, so I need to heat set it again too. Well, thank you, Phyllis. I really appreciate that. No, we don't have one like that, although it is a great idea. And I think I've seen that too, and I really liked it. I didn't get one. I'm going to just use my little white Sharpie marker. Or if this acrylic paint marker isn't doing too well, then I might pull out my high flow acrylics. I'm not really liking my stars too much. Funny how that works, isn't it? Such a tiny little thing, and I feel like I should already be done by now, but I don't like any of that, so I'm going to go back over it with another blue. Just goes to show things don't always work out how you think when you're planning it out, or when you do it. You often have to go back to the drawing board, and I like that blue already a lot better. It's more like just a more solid and more matte, and I feel like it helps the little image stand out better. And you know, I have a couple other stamps that would be perfect for this, but I don't have them handy, so I'm not going to stop and try to go find them right now. But I do have a little crescent moon and it has a little sprinkling of stars that would be awesome right here. But since I don't have it, I'm just going to paint in a few trees in the background. I'm going to use, oh goodness, I think I'm going to use a little bit of black paint, a little bit of carbon black. And I'm just going to ta-da! I think that looks cuter. Anyway, it's not much, but it's fun. And these make great little add-on gifts, or, you know, little, well, you know what they make. They make all kinds of fun makeys, and you can give them away or stash them around your studio like I do, or both. So, you know, some of you people will be getting these little things in your orders as random little surprises. So whenever you order from RubberMoon this month, you may be getting one of the stamp downs in your order. That's just a random thing that we're doing. So I hope that you enjoyed our little stamp down from today. go get yourself some tiny little canvases and have some fun. Make some little gifties or some little ornaments, because I know this is crazy, but I actually still do need ornaments on my tree. I'm still adding them every day. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Somebody's asking about this. This one is a Kae Pea trailer, but we do have a bunch of different ones and kind of different sizes too, because remember Barb Rogers, she has done a bunch of trailers and little cars and things. So some are facing one way and some are facing the other, and we do have cars and things that go with them. So anyway, thank you all so much for joining me. Oh, where's my on a winter night? That's what we need to put our little word on here. See, I talk too much and then I forget. And there you have it. We got a day and a night. So thanks again very much for joining me for STAMPdown. I'm super excited, not only for Christmas, but for spending every morning with you all. So I will see you tomorrow morning again at 11. I hope I will be here, and I hope you will too. If you don't already subscribe to RubberMoon TV, please do so. I would really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you and talk to you soon. Bye.